All right, everybody, let's just find out if Google is going to be giving UI designers stitches. Google Stitch. That's what we're covering today. Just released yesterday along with a bunch of other Google products, and people are kind of freaking out about Google Stitch. So I've put it through the test, and we're going to find out exactly if it's actually going to give us stitches. Here is Google Stitch, and here's the prompt. Generate a marketing landing page for a company that sells software to train AI. Call it Train with AI being emphasized in the logo. And the design should be dark mode with the hero section featuring a humanoid robot sitting in a chair with tethered wires connecting to it. And the rest of the landing page should be dedicated to pointing out the features and benefits of the Train software. Incorporate the use of a bento grid. So once you hit submit, it takes typically a minute or two for it to go through. Sometimes it will get hung up. But I've fast forwarded here, so you have to sit here through all this crap, and here's the result. Pixelated, hero, graphic, and all. So what are my immediate impressions of this? All right, very basic, very boring. Now what's cool is you can actually copy this to Figma and then paste it in, and it's a complete frame artboard that has fully worked in with auto layout even and everything. As you can see, the translation isn't perfect. I don't know why that hero section image is so pixelated with the robot itself. And so you would have to go in here, somebody who has trained eye with UI UX, and fix it and make these adjustments. Now, of course, that begs a question. If you're a trained UI UX person, you wouldn't use this as a starting point anyway. You would just create your own based on the results that we see here. So overall, with this particular example, not impressed at all. Now, another thing that's cool though is you can go back to the editor and you can make changes to the colors, the corner radii. You can change it to a light or dark mode and the font. And when you do that, it's just going to have to refactor everything. And you'll see the result right here. It's not perfect. It did add the red color scheme, but it didn't change any of the other content here because turquoise and this red doesn't really go well together. Now here's another one that I had to generate, and this is time I specified mobile, and it made a mobile dashboard that tracks the sales of an e-learning course platform dedicated to teaching design. Now, if you don't have a trained eye, you won't probably see the issues here, specifically with the topography and the lack of grouping. But what you can do is you can also prompt it in the lower left corner. And I'm just testing to see how well it can actually make revisions based on the internal prompting here. So I asked it to put the performance chart section up top and make the background dark with white text for the rest of the design. So this right here, it actually did a good job on the colors. We still have the issues of the grouping, with the three pieces of type that fall vertically right here where it says like revenue trend, the money, and the last 30 days. That's a lack of grouping taking place. Here I am pasting it back into Figma just to see, how we can adjust this with the auto layout and such. Me personally, I don't like auto layout being tied to everything because it makes adjustments kind of like a pain in the butt. But nonetheless, this is kind of a better example compared to the previous one. Now, what's also cool is you can click on it and you could choose code, and that you can copy the code and you could paste it into your code editor like Cursor or whatever. And it's just straight up HTML and it's baked in with Tailwind. Now, what's really cool about this, the most impressive part in my opinion, is that it does a good job of making a fully responsive design. And the HTML markup is actually pretty solid. It's not too verbose with a lot of code. Now, here's another final example. And this time we switched to experimental mode where you can attach a mock-up. And then you can specify the prompt based on what you want. And then we're going to see what it actually looks like. How close is it going to get to this right here? This right here is the result. As you can see, it gets like 60% of the way. It doesn't do everything perfect. So what I decided to do is to paste the code into Cursor. And what you would have to do then is you would have to either prompt Cursor to try to fix all the layout issues, which is what I will end up doing here in a second, or just manually make the adjustments in the Tailwind and the HTML itself. So you're still going to have to put in work. And if you don't have the trained eye, if you're not an actual UI UX designer, you're not going to see these little discrepancies. So if you publish something, it's not going to be top tier. So the big question is this going to put UI designers out of work? Only the ones who suck. All right. Only the people who are just basically the beginners. So don't worry about this Stitch thing, taking a job from you. It still has a lot of maturing to do, which I'm sure it will, because AI is getting super, super crazy smart. But as it stands right now, this is not going to be giving UI designers stitches. Thank God. If you enjoyed this video, check out DesignCourse.com, where you can learn UI, UX, CSS, and more with my custom interactive platform that makes learning fun and easy.